Good evening, everyone. I'm Rick Dancer coming to you live from Livingston, Montana, and this is Get Real with Rick Dancer. It has been a busy, busy day. If you want to see some kind of big news stories, um, uh, you know, the Russians did invade Ukraine, and I had the president's news conference. We posted that on our page, so if you want to go back and watch that, you can. Also, new report out of the CDC on the effects of COVID on the vax and the unvax. It might surprise you. It's very interesting. And that does come from the CDC. Bill London, his father is in his 90s, and Bill kind of is his caretaker. And Bill is not going to be here tonight because his dad needed to go to a doctor's appointment. So we just said, you get a good excuse for that. Anybody that takes care of their 90-year-old parents, I think deserves to have a night off as an emergency if they need to. So Bill will be back on Monday with more news, but I've got some stuff coming from you. We went this afternoon live with some folks at a timber rally at the state capitol. They're going to explain what was going on there. And then the Oregon Loggers Conference is the 84th year in Eugene, Oregon, which I always found was kind of interesting. But back in the day, Eugene, it still is a big logging community. But logging is what built this town. And it actually built your house. If you tore off the sheetrock and the pretty paint, behind there is wood. So it takes a tree to build your house. But some people forget that. Of course, a lot of people don't know where eggs come from either. They think they come out of a carton when they come out of a chicken's behind. And they don't know that you do have to kill a cow in order to wear leather pumps or a leather purse. So anyway, we're going to do the show, and I'll have the two timber stories at the end. We also have our sponsors today. Mercury Metal. Tim, the guy who works with me, went out there the other day, comes back and goes, oh my gosh, you should see what they do out there. It is so amazing. So I'm going to play this again. There's so many things that they do. They're one of our great sponsors here, Mercury Metal Design and Fabrication, and they just do some great stuff, and they really appreciate the fact that we are giving you all kinds of information, not just the information that's comfortable. Also, New Leaf Hyperbaric and Wellness Center is also one of our sponsors tonight. Matt and Cece own the place. If you haven't had a hyperbaric treatment yet, what the heck are you waiting for? And the new light beds, one of my favorite. I will do light beds any day of the year. I'm going to do a story on Kim going into the light bed and put her on the blue lights, and we'll see what that does to her. That'll make her behave better. And our other sponsor is, look, she's back. I can see her face. You guys can't. I can see Kim's face, but she's back there going, I'm going to get you when you make me live. And Derrick Roser with Roser Real Estate Group. They're going to be here. And every month they're featuring a business. And if you want to put a number in, you can let people know right on the screen here is leads@roserrealestategroup.com. If you have a business that just wants some free publicity, give us, that's what we're going to do. And tonight we're going to be at the Coburg Candy Company with a sweet story. And there's a chance for you to get a free chocolate if you're good. So that's all coming up. Let's get to the lead, and then we'll get to Michael Bratlin, and then we'll bring up Derrick Roser. So hang in there just a second.
Who puts up with this? That's what I don't understand.
Bring the lion out. Bring the lion.
Tonight on our show, we're going to have...
Hey guys, don't you think it's kind of fun that you get to comment on the news?
There's a cost. Oh yeah, there's a cost. People come after you.
I think that's why this is so much fun, is because...
We'll see you at 5.
All right, and we want to thank Dr. Bratlin.
A lot of crowns.
I was supposed to play that there. We want to thank him for his support, but here we go. You get a crown for $9.99 if you say Rick Dancer. Hold on.
Crowns. And it's funny, a patient asked me the other day, is like, how are you giving such cheap crowns? And I think they think that maybe I'm having like lesser quality. I have really good quality crowns, and we do really good work. And we charge, if you don't have insurance, we charge $998. So let's say you break a tooth and you know you need a crown, you can call us, and that's how much you're paying. We're not gonna charge you all these add-ons. You don't want a crown that breaks. I don't want stuff from China. It's a local lab. They're phenomenal. You're going to come in the chair. We're not going to charge you for a limited exam, X-ray, a core build up in a crown. We're going to charge you $998.
Now, to get that 998, you have to mention that you saw it on Get Real with Rick Dancer. And I'll tell you for a fact, I went to one of those cheap dental places and had my first crown done. It broke. And I had to go to Michael, and he fixed it, put on a much better quality crown, and it feels better than my real teeth. So that's what I can tell you about. Okay, Derrick, I'm going to come to you now, so quit talking.
All right.
He's begging. Right now he's at the Coburg Candy Company, and Derrick was sitting there. I know what you were doing. You were asking Allison, can I get some free candy? And
I was.
I didn't want to pop up, and there you are begging for candy because I know how you are. Oh, my gosh, look at that.
I'm like a kid in a candy store, Rick. I know.
So Derrick, every month, I know you're such a smart aleck. You get it from me. Every month you're doing a business, showing a business that somebody has recommended, and just giving them a little free marketing, a little free press to tell people what they're all about. So you picked Coburg Candy Company. I mean, obviously I could guess why, but why?
Well, goodies. You know, they were nominated last month. That's what we're hoping for every month, is to get new nominations, and it was just a fun spot. It just seemed like a fun thing to do this month with. We did adult candy last month at the Swallowtail Distillery, so we decided this month it'd be for the kids. So the kid in all of us. So that's what we decided to do this month. Anyway,
so,
I just wanted to, go ahead.
So let me talk to so it's Allison, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
And what's your last name, Allison?
Davis Hockaday. It's a long one.
That's a long one. So when did you guys buy the place?
Well, we are leasing in the building here. It's one of the historic buildings in downtown Coburg, and we just opened up in October. So we are about 5 months in. We are brand new, and it's been a ton of fun and awesome. We also live in Coburg, so it's a great asset to the community, and it's been a really good experience. We're really happy.
Because Coburg now, what I love about what has happened there is you got Coburg Pizza, you've got the truck stop if you want to go out that way, you've got Bronco Billy's, Coburg, the Blue Valley Bistro, one of my former clients right there, the new Mexican food place. Now you got candy. You're making it so that I can hang out there on an evening and go out in the day and just have a great time and spend my money. You guys are smart. And Farm Fancy has all those flowers, and then you're right next down the street there. So there you go.
Yeah, there's a lot going on. There's a lot of new businesses popping up for sure.
Why Coburg? I know you live there, but why Coburg?
Coburg is awesome. I grew up in Ferndale in California, and it reminds me so much of, you've been to Ferndale?
Uh-huh.
It reminds me of Ferndale in Oregon. It's like dairy town, farmhouses, Victorian. It's just that old school, like small town community. It's safe, it's kind. I hope it never changes. It's a real community that props each other up. I love Coburg. Always have loved Coburg.
What did you and your husband do before candy?
Well, I was a stay-at-home mom, and I have a 7-year-old daughter, Lexi. She's in 1st grade. And my husband's a lineman, so he works in the transmission lines for Bonneville. So he's here on his off days, sometimes helping me out with the shop. But definitely, as anyone who owns a business knows, like the husbands or wives are the biggest support, like an employee by default, I guess.
So yeah, my wife would say the same thing. So So your husband's wired with electricity, and you're wired with chocolate.
Yes.
That's a lot of electricity,
Right?
So why did you, when you said, okay, I'm going to start a business, honey, and why did you pick candy?
Because it's such, going to the candy store was such a positive childhood memory for me. And I just felt like Coburg really needed it, and the community really needs it during this time where it's kind of dark and heavy. It's not like that in here. This is like a break. It's, take your kids, take your family, take yourself, and do something fun and light and happy. And it's just like a happy place.
So Andrea says, love all the Coburg businesses, and the candy company has been a great addition.
Oh, thank you, Andrea.
So show me around. I want to see like what kind of candy that you have.
So should we
I'm
start?
not holding the camera.
You narrate.
Okay.
But
we have.
okay,
oh,
there's.
This
No,
is
I've got
saltwater
right
taffy.
there saltwater taffy.
Yep, which you can do by the piece, or you can fill up a $10 box with
And then-
saltwater taffy.
And then we're here on this wall.
Yeah, so we have kind of a mix.
Tim, you got to get on here.
I need to go over there with the kids.
Okay, keep going. Kim has to see this.
We have a mix. We have brand new like TikTok candies. These are like TikTok challenge candies. And then we have old school, like super old fashioned lemon drops. We always get fresh fudge in, fresh truffles.
Yum.
And then over here is our seasonal. So we're gearing up for St. Patrick's Day. We have a whole basket of gold coins here for our seasonal.
Wow.
And
I can't
then,
imagine what that looked like on Halloween.
yeah, and then
This is the fun stuff over here.
Over here is where you can customize a $10 box, and which also includes the saltwater taffy, and fill up your bucket with anything. And we have a little mix of all sorts of things: crazy cotton candy flavors, old-fashioned stuff, and then here's some more TikTok candy. These are really popular with the kids right now. They go on TikTok and like there's challenges for who can put the most atoms in their mouth because they're super sour, things like that. Just good fun, you know. And then we just
You got to get in on the
drive
TikTok.
room. So we're gonna be having some toys and baskets and quilts in there.
Wow. So,
Oh, cool.
Check
Allison,
this out. We've got vintage candy. Where's the there's yeah.
Oh yeah, the vintage candy.
The vintage.
is under here, so,
Yeah. Okay, we gotta check this out.
Yeah, some of the
This is
real
like
old-
Little House on the Prairie, but upscale.
Yeah.
So old timey stuff there.
And
So
we started selling candles, so we partnered with Farm Kitchen Candle, which is also in Coburg, brand new business. And she made some candy scented candles for us, and they're awesome.
Now, what's the name of that one, Allison? What's the name of the company?
Farm Kitchen Candle Company. And she makes handcrafted, she makes the candles right there in the window, so you can watch her make them. And they're like soy, all natural ingredients, and they're amazing. If you like candles, they're like awesome.
Hey, Derrick, I'm gonna
Yeah.
suggest them for next month, or at least sometime we should do a story with them.
you know, it's ironically we already got a nomination for them for next month. So,
Seriously?
so there you go. Yeah. So that's how your nominations work. You know, I mean, everybody out there just continue to nominate folks. So that's awesome.
So
We need to get scent vision so we can smell it as you're on there.
I know.
how about Taste-O-Vision?
Yeah.
There you go.
Taste of
I
vision.
can taste it. So really quickly, Allison, you and I were talking, and you had this kind of sweet idea.
Oh, yes. Okay. So we are open. We are closed on Sundays, but we're open tomorrow and Saturday, 11 to 5. And anybody that comes in and mentions Rick Dancer or Derrick Roser or Roser Realty team will have some candy for free. So if you mention anything that we talked about,
That's
so
so
come
awesome.
check us out.
Well, congratulations, and be sure and go meet. Have you met Seth and Melissa over at the Blue Valley Bistro yet?
I have, we go there all the time. But I don't think I have introduced myself with the store. So,
Okay,
I have personally, just as
go over and introduce yourself from the store. Say, Rick Dancer said I needed to come over, and then give Melissa a hug. And you can give Seth a hug too. Or first, just give them both a hug, and then say Rick Dancer said to give you that from Montana. They will. They don't. They're not. They love me. They're my friends. And then order the Cobb salad with turkey. So good.
I haven't tried that one. I've tried a lot of stuff there.
Oh, well, thank you for letting us in your store.
So cute.
Hey, Rick, I just wanted to throw this out there too. Remember, everybody, I've got, for anybody that makes a nomination for the next month for a business, at leads@rosarealestategroup.com. I just laid down a couple $100 on some gift certificates here, $20 gift certificates for the candy company. So submit your leads to leads at Rosa Real Estate Group for the next business for next month. Even if we don't go to the candle company, it'll be for the next month. But just continue to do that. And my gosh, the $20. Here's a $10. There it is, a $10 box of candy. You'll get 2 of those for that $20. You can go through and fill it up. So
this is what you do. What Derrick's telling you is you just nominate a business. Go to leads@rosarealestate.com. I put it on there. and then you just nominate, say, the candle company, that, you know, whatever you want to put on there. And then when they do it, you will get that prize. So you're going to get free stuff.
Free stuff. Yeah.
And somebody else on here wrote, Julie Turner said, "Good for you bringing such a wonderful business to the community." So
Thank you. Thank
So
you.
fun.
So
Yeah, this is fun. So this is so I can keep doing this. Everybody that's out there just needs to give me a call if they have any real estate needs.
So Derrick sold my house, and and unfortunately he doesn't work in Montana because I'm still homeless. But they're starting to come back on the market, Derrick. How are things going there? Because it's scarce here, but now things are starting to come back. We saw a couple. We're going to go look at one tomorrow. They're starting to come back on the market. I think interest rates, I know they're up about what, a half a point.
Yeah, they're up a half a point. Yeah, things are starting to pick up. It's, you know, spring's coming. People are starting to get their yards fixed up and stuff ready to go on the market, and they're excited about it. They know, you know, people that are selling homes know that the interest rates are going up, so they're getting a little anxious to get their houses on the market.
Well, they better I'll tell them, they better get your dang house on the market, because
Yeah.
people like us are trying to buy them. And if you wait too long, interest rates are going to go too high, and then I'm not going to buy your
And you're not
house.
going to buy it. Yeah.
Get the damn thing on in March, or just get out of the game.
Don't wait
So
too long.
So anybody else that's going to follow Rick to Montana, just give me a call and I'll help you out.
For any of you Montanans, I got people here in Montana that are coming up to me. They're already watching. And so any of you Montanans who want to go to Oregon, they're lifting the mask mandate as of the 31st for sure. So your house would close by the time you could take your mask off, and there you go.
There you go. Yeah, come help us turn that. Come help us turn this place around.
All right, Derrick, thank you. And tell those
All right.
guys thank you for letting us in.
All right.
All right, see you later.
Okay. Bye.
That's such a cute
As long
story.
as you're here, I thought, but all that candy and your kids, you know, you should go out there this weekend and just because
I know. Well, Everett heard that about the giveaway, so of course we're going to be going there now. Yeah, and he loves the bucket. He'll fill it up. Mhm.
Yeah, and then you'll have your home bounce.
Yeah,
that child
yeah.
bouncing off the walls.
That's what we need.
So
Mhm.
we had Dwan going to come on and
Oh, I know. Okay.
the signal. So Dwan, I'm going to let you just kind of explain what's
Okay.
going on. Okay.
I know. Okay. Well, Dwan couldn't come on tonight. He couldn't connect, but he'll be with us next week, because actually I was just going to do a quick preview tonight, and we'll actually talk with him next Thursday. Some of you may already be familiar with free bikes for kids. I wanted to get the word out tonight because on Saturday, March 5th, they're going to be looking for bikes to be donated, and they've got several different locations for drop off for those on the 5th between the hours of, I believe it was 11 to 2. But again, Dwan will tell us all about that. He works out at CoMotion in Eugene. So they're looking for donated bikes. So what you want to do right now is think about, do I have a bike that I want to donate? And it doesn't matter what condition it's in, because they fix these up. They donate them to kids. Last year, they got like 500 bikes donated, and their goal this year, I want to say, is 750. So again, I'm speaking on behalf of Dwan since he didn't join us tonight, and we'll get more information for you guys. But for tonight, go through, see if you have an old bike anywhere sitting around, old kid's bike, one of your old bikes, whatever. Hopefully it's a kid's bike. And you guys, they can fix it up. And then on that day, on that Saturday, on March 5th, you can just drop it off. If you're not in town or something, just have someone else drop it off at one of those areas. And I want to say there are 6 different locations. So we'll talk about that next week, but I wanted to get a preview out there now so that you can be thinking about it this weekend if you're doing some spring cleaning in this freezing cold weather. And then another thing is in Portland, for those of you who are in Portland or just want to drive up there, Unite Oregon Now is hosting a rally called Unite for Freedom. That's tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. at the waterfront. They're going to have several speakers there. And this is just kind of an event to get, it's a movement. It's a nonpartisan movement. They're not mentioning campaigns, anything like that. Everybody's invited, vaxxed, non-vaxxed, people who are maybe, not opposed to the vaccine, but are opposed to mandates, etc. And it's all about love and respect and unity. So we wanted to go ahead and let you guys know about that rally taking place again at the waterfront tomorrow from 11 a.m. to 3 p.m. up there in Portland. And we actually, Rick, I have the website for that too, if you guys want to go to get more information on that. So we can post that as well, uniteoregonnow.com. It looks like the date is now March 19th. Okay.
Please plan
Okay.
it. So Kim, I also was talking in my gym today here in Livingston, Montana, to a woman who is she is like an art director at a museum here. And so
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna get her. She's gonna come on, and we'll start doing some stuff that people can find out about here going on.
That'd be fun.
Because you can order it and have it sent to you, and it's not that expensive.
Oh, really? Okay, so that would be fun. So Rick will get us Montana things. We've got Coburg covered tonight. If you guys, we've done Florence stuff, but we're still interested, and we're going to be just getting other people. It's not just Lane County, you guys, either. So we can have your events from anywhere.
Well, and if you're an outlying area, Harney County, any place like that, and you are on here, the Chambers of Commerce, contact us. I can get you to Kim and just let us know, because Kim, we're going to promote everything throughout Oregon, Idaho, and Montana. So if there's something going on, it's not always, Kim, I think, so because somebody's going to go, but it's really to help that organization. But also, I think the bigger picture to me is that we're letting people know that there's good things going on in communities, because I think we need to know that now. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. And people think it has to be in Eugene or something. So we're just so you know, and it's free. You guys, it's free getting the word out. I like to focus on things, especially that are fundraisers and things like that. But just let us know. I mean, look, we featured a cute little candy store tonight. So the options are out there.
All right, Kim. Hey, I will see you on Tuesday.
We'll see you then. Have a good weekend.
Okay. See you, Kimmy.
Bye, guys.
Bye-bye. So earlier today, there was a rally with the timber folks at Salem, because they're very concerned about a couple of bills. So we're going to have two stories here that we've already got interviews lined up here, and they're done. One of them is with the Oregon Natural Resources Industry, which used to be Timber Unity. They had a rally today, and then I'm going to have another interview with the president of the Oregon Loggers Conference. So let me play that first one for you, and pay attention, because this is going to affect everybody in Oregon. Joining us from Salem, Oregon is Jeff Levy. He is with the Oregon Natural Resources Industry, and you guys are holding a rally in Salem. Tell me how many people are there. Kind of tell me what's going on, Jeff.
Oh, there's about 100, maybe a couple hundred people here. We've had speakers. We've had several speakers today. Dallas Hurd was expelled from the Senate floor, so he just gave his speech. Today, they voted to expel him off the Senate floor for the rest of the session. I'll give you an idea of what's going on down here, folks, and it's been a real good event. We've enjoyed this. We've getting our message out. This is basically the rebirth of Timber Unity Association. So I'm going to scan this and show everybody what's going on here.
So Tim, talk to me about the topics. What are the things that are concerning to the timber industry right now that you're protesting?
Well, the Elliott Forest is one, 1501, Senate Bill 1501, Senate Bill 1502, House Bill 4055 and 4065. So I'm going to give you a view here real quick, guys, because I can hardly hear you. Here we go.
Yeah, that's in Salem today. Right now, loggers, industry people in the timber industry showing up to protest some legislation that they feel is really detrimental to the timber industry. That's why the Oregon Natural Resources Industry. So, Jeff.
Yes, sir.
How is this important to other people besides the timber industry itself, like general business people, other people here in Oregon?
I can't hear you, Rick. I'm sorry.
Why is this so important to the state of Oregon with these House bills?
Well, the Elliott Forest in particular was given to the state in Oregon in 1931, 32, I believe. That forest was given to the state for the general school fund for the schools, and the state hasn't logged a stick of it. So there's 90,000 acres. They haven't logged a stick of it in 10 years. So basically, it's a fire hazard for one. For two, they want to sell it. It's worth over $1 billion. They want to sell it to OSU for $221 million to be a research forest. You take that aspect of taking the Elliott out of the general school fund and the HCP that's being put in play in 2023 on the state timberlands. That's a lot of money for schools that's going bye-bye. That won't be available.
And it's land that belongs to the general public, the taxpayer.
Yes, sir. Absolutely.
So do they have to ask the taxpayers if we want to sell our property, or can they just do it?
They're going to push it through legislation.
All right.
It's absolutely ridiculous. You know,
Jeff?
it's the kids' future that's at stake on the Elliott, and people don't realize that. That's 90,000 acres.
Where's the Elliott Forest? It's down by Reedsport, isn't it?
Yes, down in southwestern Oregon.
All right. Hey, Jeff, thank you. I know you got other stuff you got to do, so thank you for going live there and letting me see what's going on. Okay.
You bet. I'm gonna give your viewers a scan of the crowd.
Okay. All right. Again, you guys, this is live this afternoon in Salem, Oregon. The Oregon Natural Resources Industry holding a rally to bring attention to some Senate bills and House bills that they think are very dangerous for the timber industry. All right, Jeff, again, thank you, buddy. All right, and let's get back to our program. All right, so we have another interview we did last night, yesterday, and with the president, Scott, over at the Oregon Loggers Conference. Been going on for 84 years in Eugene, and the big theme this year is they're trying to keep people positive because it's really, really hard to be positive with what's going on to the timber industry here in Oregon, and people are very concerned. And as a taxpayer and a property owner in this state, you should be very concerned as well. So let's listen to this interview real quick here. And Scott Melcher, the president of the Oregon Logging Conference, which is coming in Eugene this week. And you guys, I remember as a reporter, you've been doing this for years, not you personally, but I mean, the logging conference has been going on for a number of years in Eugene.
This is our 84th year.
God, I always find it kind of funny, Scott, that you're in Eugene. I think it's a good thing to be in Eugene, but I love having it because there's a lot of logging industry around there. And I think it reminds people in the lower valley, Willamette Valley, that logging is still a huge part of our economy.
It is. And historically, it was a major player in this community in Eugene and Springfield.
And still is.
Still is today, but and probably, through the times it was more accepted in a sense in the past than it is today. Not that it's not appreciated that we're here, but part of the challenges we face today.
Right. So what is it? What is the conference about? Just so people know. And then for people joining us here, we're going to talk about a couple of issues that are coming up right now in the legislature that are really dangerous to the industry. And I would even say to Oregon because of the economy and that. But so tell people what the conference is really all about. What is it there to do?
The conference is here to bring people together across our industry. It's not just contractors, it's contractors, manufacturing equipment, dealers and manufacturers, support vendors, that supply just everything down to wire rope to, boots to computer programs for our offices, just all kinds of support come together to be viewed by the patrons of the conference. We are registered as participants in the conference. It also supplies not only just the access to all the equipment and everything in one spot, it is a process of education for contractors and the attendees of the conference to gain knowledge on current issues, expand our professional level of education that's ongoing every year through Forced Practices Act discussions and business seminars, current legislative issues that are coming at us. It's a full gamut of subjects and education we can experience while being at the conference.
So it really brings you guys together. So you have one place to see that there are other people like you. And there is a force behind this, because I think sometimes you probably, when you're separated, you could feel like there's not this large group of timber production companies and sawmills and loggers and contractors, and how you're all really there to fight with each other to protect the industry.
Exactly. At times we really do fight with each other, but when it comes to the conference, it brings everybody together and we unite and we share our ideas, we share our struggles, and we learn and talk about ways that we can move forward in our industry in a positive way.
So I know this year you guys are trying to keep it real positive, but it's got to be tough because you have a couple of pieces of legislation coming up. And why don't you talk about those with people so they really understand what's coming up against the logging industry and what that could mean to the general public?
I think right now the PFA, the Private Forest Accord, is the top piece of legislation coming at us. It's actually going to it's out for speculation, but estimated that it's going to take another at least 10% of our land base that we produce timber and wood products off of away from our industry. Speculated that could mean $400 million a year annually to the economy of Oregon.
We could lose that much.
We could lose that much, exactly.
Is this the wider stream protection that they're talking about, or is that part of that?
It's wider and it's longer.
But it's really wide.
Yeah, it nearly doubles it in most cases, and then extends those protections beyond current protections.
So to the novice, they're going to say, "Well, that's great. You need that kind of protection." To the timber industry, what does that mean?
Our standards that we practice today are probably some of the highest in the nation. There's been studies down south that support the level of protection that we practice today. I think the industry itself sees this, as maybe trying to come to terms, get ahead of the issue. It's a tough one to swallow, but we're being talked to that it's a way to come to compromise and move our industry forward from this point on.
So the industry, and I'm not putting words in your mouth. I'm just, from what I've heard from my friends in the industry feels this is overreach and far too much, but you kind of you're negotiating. So this is the deal you're working, and it'll protect other things to keep the industry growing. But this isn't what you guys feel is best for the timber industry or Oregon. No,
as a small contractor and actually even a small landowner in the state of Oregon, this legislation will impact me two different ways on both sides of my operations, not only just as a contractor and the amount of land base that's out there, but land that will actually be taken away from me as a private landowner. So no, I did not support it. Do I have the hopes that it will make our current environment more stable? Yes. But I don't want to, I'm tired of giving up. I'm tired of giving up our assets and our land.
So do you feel honestly like, okay, that you're going to agree to this, or the possibility is everybody agrees to this, and then in 2 years, it'll just be more and more and more and more?
Well, I think if we look at the past, that's the pattern we're in. And that's the fear that, we can give it up today and think we're moving forward in a positive manner and a more stable manner. But I think the issues that come at us are unpredictable, and where they're coming from is unpredictable.
How big an industry is logging and timber when you connect everything in there? Do you have any idea, Scott, how big it is in Oregon still?
I've heard the statistics before. Annually, I couldn't quote it accurately probably, but it is still a significant player in the state of Oregon. We're looking at, as far as employment and people across the industry, just in the manufacturing and contracting and transportation of wood products, more than 60 to 70,000 jobs in the state of Oregon.
Wow. So what do you think that people who most don't understand about the industry?
That we're out there to protect the forest. I mean, we work in the forest, we harvest the forest, and today mostly the private forest, the forests that are managed by large landowners down to small landowners. And we do and meet a high standard of quality in our practices according to the Forest Practices Act. I think people, the people are disconnected from the products that our industry supplies for them. I was kind of thinking about, what topics I might, you asked me for maybe 2 topics. And one part of this topic we're talking about is a social aspect to it. And I think it's starting in our education system where, if you asked 10 kids, 7 or 8 of them are going to tell you that cutting a tree is bad. But they're not being taught that also provides a lot of necessary things that provide conveniences and provide for their life.
Well, a roof over their head, for instance.
One of the basic 3, food, shelter, and clothing. Shelter and clothing, a lot of that, can actually even come from wood products and definitely from natural resources, and natural resource industries in a whole are facing these types of challenges.
The message hasn't really gotten out that what happens in Oregon when you harvest and replant timber, it's a crop. So it really is a crop that you manage, and it's been managed, and this crop has been managed for centuries. And even the Native Americans managed timber. Not the way we do today, because we have more science and we know more, but I think people look at it completely different. And I think, education is a big deal. It's like, you cut down corn stalks and the next year you plant more and you grow more corn. And with timber, it just takes longer. And, with a timber company, they're putting a 40, 50 year investment. They're not going to see a return on the trees they plant this year for, 50, 60 years.
That's exactly right. And one thing I've always kind of said to people is that in a 50-year rotation, so if we cut a portion of the forest today and we're going to manage that forest for 50 years, today we cut it, the trees are gone. Within 1 year, by law, those trees are replanted and are growing as soon as they're planted. They plant in the wintertime, springtime, those trees are growing again. So if you take 1 year out of 50, you're looking at 2% of the lifetime of the managed forest that's actually in a clear-cut state. That's not a lot. And in the meantime, you've got 98% of the time that forest is growing, it's providing habitat, it's providing recreation, it's providing, it is a forest. It's something that we can enjoy for 48 years. That's a long time.
Right.
My career hasn't lasted 48 years.
Yes.
That's where I think, it's not necessarily the same forest that was here 100 years ago, but the demand for the product and other policies across the state on national forests have put more pressure on private lands to provide and meet the needs of forest products that the people of this state and nation and world consume. So, you put more pressure on that land, and then you start taking away that land through these policies, and then just look at the catastrophic wildfires that we had in just 2020 on private lands. And that's another drastic hit to our industry that the impacts have yet to be felt.
Right. There's one timber company in our area lost a lot of acreage. And when it came down to the streams, they planted hundreds and hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of extra trees they didn't have to plant down by those streams because it was the right thing to do. But they don't seem to get a lot of credit from the general public. I was once trying to work with a young man to do a video on the timber industry, and he wouldn't do it. He goes, "Nope, I don't do anything on the timber industry because they cut down all those trees." And I thought, do you know, you need to educate yourself on, and I did ask him if he lived in a wood framed house, which he did. But it's just people don't put those things together. It's not like an evil industry. It's an industry that if you understand it and you go and educate yourself, you get it. But it's so easy to fall behind, they just clear down all the trees. And it's like, well, it's a crop. What other, did you have another topic you wanted to bring up, Scott, or did we cover both of them?
I'll throw out one more thing along the lines of, we've all struggled through the pandemic for 2 years, struggled with different things. I thought it was kind of ironic that one of the first things that was hoarded and in shortage by our own creation was toilet paper. Do people not realize where toilet paper comes from? But, that's kind of in closing on that, the products of the woods and what it provides for us. But our biggest challenge moving forward, if we're going to have a future as an industry, and it's the same across a lot of industries, it's people. Where do we find quality people that want to work outside in the woods? And this isn't just forestry. This is across the nation.
Farms and everything. Yeah.
Yes, but that too, I think, is a little bit self-inflicted in that kids and the education systems today are not, showing kids other options other than an education that's going to take you to college.
Right.
I went to college. I'm glad I did. I grew up. My dad was I'm a third generation logging contractor. I only wanted to, I always grew up wanting to be a logging contractor, but I got a business degree, and that was a good thing. But today, I think kids are faced with different choices: the economic choice of the cost of college versus going out right out of high school, applying yourself to a career that's a little more hands-on, more vocational, and start earning a living 4 or 5 years sooner than a college graduate, and maybe even come out ahead in that time period, gaining that experience and even economically ahead.
Well, didn't we learn, I think, Scott, during the pandemic, the important jobs were not all the overeducated people. It was, we needed plywood. The mills needed people working. You needed truck drivers to get those logs out of there. You needed plumbers. You needed contractors to build homes. Those were really the front lines. It wasn't all the people, the elite, that we tend to look up to and go, oh yeah, you're overeducated, and they didn't need me. We needed those workers. So yeah, I think that's good, and I hope that's what you guys talk about at the Oregon Logging Conference is how do you encourage young people to say, what, I can make a family wage job and really do something to impact my community, and by being a logger or a plumber or a builder, or all those different kind of professions that are really the valued jobs, I think, right now.
Well, in a way, that's kind of what, as president, I have to give an address tomorrow, and I'm going to basically kind of do a historical rundown of my family, how my grandfather came to Oregon, and how we got to where I am today, and my kids now towards the future. And that's going to lead into our guest speaker or keynote speaker, Blake Manley from Sweetum High School. He's a teacher there, an instructor in our natural resource programs. And he's going to talk about the very way that he is impacting students at the high school level. And I think he really illustrates some success in that for our community and our high school.
So this starts in Eugene at the fairgrounds or the Lane Event Center. Thursday, goes Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Thursday through Saturday. Saturday it ends at 2:00, and Saturday is open to the public. And I hope to see families and young people coming to the show and looking and talking to people about what we do. That Saturday is geared up. There's activities for the kids. Gives the kids an opportunity to climb on a machine that they've maybe only seen on YouTube.
You guys have the most impressive machines too. I mean, seriously, you can't go to many shows and see that kind of big logging equipment, You got good stuff. Hey, well, Scott Melcher, thank you for coming and talking to us about the Oregon Logging Conference coming up in Eugene, Thursday, the 24th, then Friday, the 25th, and the 26th till 2:00. I appreciate your time, my man.
Thank you.
All right. We'll see you later.
Glad to be here.
So, different perspective on the timber industry that you're going to find in both media outlets, and that's what we do here at Get Real with Rick Dancer. We couldn't do any of this without Rosa Real Estate Group, New Leaf Hyperbarics and Wellness Center, Mercury Metal Design and Fabrication, and Chris Dental Family Dentistry, where everyone is welcome. If you are someone out there who is considering some kind of thing, you like our content, you like what we do, you want to sponsor what we do, these are our numbers right here. Last month, we reached 276,655 people. That's the breakdown. So a lot of people looking for alternative sources and something that to us is more real. And we're providing that. So just give me a call. You can find out more about it. Had 3 calls last week. People want something that's They don't want to flip on the TV and be told what to do. They want some information that they can decide for themselves what to do. So we'll be gone tomorrow. We'll be back. Bill will be back on Monday, and we're going to have Senator Kim Thatcher is going to be here to talk about some interesting concepts dealing with our governor and how she's offering clemency to rapists, murderers, and she's going way beyond where she's supposed to be on those. We're also going to talk with a young man named Barley Atkins. And many years ago, I gave him a turnaround award because he turned his life around. And a friend of mine knows him. And we're just going to have a conversation with a young man about life in addition. So I look forward to that. Those are always fun. All right. Share this on your page, if you will. Let other people know what's going on. And have a great weekend. I'll see you on Monday.